Tools you'll need include a 3, 4, and 5mm Allen wrench, an 8, 10, and 15mm wrench, and a pair of snips or scissors. Don't worry if you don't have these specific tools, they are included with your e-bike. First, cut off the straps and open up the box. Start by taking out your assembly kit, which is located in a white box on the top rack of your e-bike. Your assembly kit includes your wheel skewer, pedals, fender bolts and nuts, an extra headlight bolt, and charger box. You can keep the charger box aside for later. Locate the zip ties that are holding your front tire onto the frame and cut them. Carefully pull your e-bike out of the box and cut all of the packing styrofoam. This e-bike is 60 pounds, so you may need another person to help you lift the e-bike. Your next step is to take off the protective rubber pieces on your front tire. Take your wheel skewer and insert one side into the tire with the spring. Once the skewer has gone all the way through, take your other spring and place it on the end with the smallest side facing the tire. Then place your end cap. Take your frame and front tire and lift up your frame until you are able to mount it on to your front tire. Be sure that the front fork is carefully mounted on the axles on both sides. Then rotate your tire skewer clockwise until it is firmly tightened onto the frame. Take your 5mm Allen wrench and undo the headset on top of your suspension fork. Then take your front handlebars and place them on your front suspension fork. Take your pointer finger and thumb, lift up the quick release bolt and pull the lever. Be careful that there are no cables or wires stuck between the frame and your handlebars. Then take your headset you just uninstalled and install it back into your e-bike, making sure to tighten it all the way down until there is no gap between the handlebars and frame. Be sure to tighten the top bolt first until it is fully seated before you tighten the bolts on the front. Once you have tightened the top, make sure to align your handlebars with the front of the tire, and then take your 5mm Allen wrench and tighten the two bolts in front. Take a small and large rubber grommet and place them on your handlebars. Take your 3mm Allen key and undo the nuts and bolts on both sides of the display screen. Keep the nuts and bolts on the same sides you took them off on and tighten them onto the frame. Make sure your handlebars do not wobble back and forth by tightening the quick release at the top of your handlebars. Also make sure the quick release on the top where your screen is located is tight as well. Once this is done, take your seat and mount it onto the frame, making sure to tighten the quick release so that the seat does not swivel back and forth. Take your 15mm wrench and mount on your pedals by side. The pedal with the R goes on the right side. Turn your wrench clockwise to tighten it. The pedal with the L goes on the left side. Turn your wrench counterclockwise to tighten it. Take your 10mm wrench and 5mm Allen key and loosen the nut and bolt that sits on top of your front suspension fork. Take your headlight and place it on the bolt, then place your fender, and then finally place your lock nut. Tighten the bolt firmly with your 10mm wrench and 5mm Allen key. Take your bag of fender nuts and bolts, your 4mm Allen key and 8mm wrench, and mount your fender hanger onto the small little black bracket that is on the side of the fork on both sides. Take an air pump and pump up your tires to approximately 25 psi. If your fenders start to rub, simply push both hangers up towards the back side of the tire. It is optional to take a 3mm Allen key and undo the bolt that is located on the side of your suspension fork and place your extra hydraulic line. Take your e-bike keys and plug them into your battery, then turn on your screen by holding down the power button.